Hey everybody, welcome to Land Geek Nite Cap. Tonight we're diving into the five biggest land investing mistakes that keep beginners stuck and confused and overwhelmed. So if you feel like you're spinning your wheels or you don't know how to get started, this one is for you. And if you're catching the replay, we live in the rerun. So if you're catching the replay, don't forget we go live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. So jump in next time so you can ask questions live and hang out with us in real time. Fellas, good to be back.
Good to be back.
As always, we're joined by John 8 is Enough Burnett, Handsome Rob. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's like mid 70s in northern Idaho. I know, it's great. It's dry, no humidity. It's the perfect weather. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have thanks for joining us, John. We also have Mike Zen Master, breathe in the mailing, breathe out the marketing. Mike Zen Master Zano. What's going on, buddy?
Not too much. Just playing a little piano this evening and drinking some wine.
Always tickling the keys. That's good. That's good. It's good to have you guys here. And I am Scott Bossman. I don't want to give my saying my own nickname is weird, so I won't do that.
Dude, buddy.
I'll let Mark do that when he gets back.
Yeah,
dude, buddy.
But thanks everybody for chiming in, tuning in, connecting here with Land Geek Nation, the hive mind. You love that term, don't you, Mike?
I like that. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I get the heebie-jeebies when he says that.
It's like we should have a Stranger Things night. It'd be like the Land Geek Hive Mind Stranger Things night. It'd be so fun. But let's see. Daniel Bryan is here. Don Thrasher, Billy Swinton. Thank you guys for tuning in. Rick C. Nice to see you. So we have a great topic tonight, but I think what would be fun first, guys, before we get into the topic, is because people love hearing about this stuff. Are you guys doing land deals right now? And could you give us an example or two, or what's happening? Like, what's the state of the market? Are we buying? Are we selling? What's going on? Because I think a lot of people out there, maybe I don't know, they're like, this whole thing sounds a little nerve wracking. Like I don't know if I want to invest in land right now. There's some economic uncertainty in the U.S. So we'll keep it real brief.
Economic.
I really know the answer. But Don Burnett, are you doing deals? Are you buying and are you selling?
Yeah, I still buy and I still sell. I got deeds out for 7 properties and another one that I'm buying right now and still marketing and selling. So
yeah. Consistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Mike Zano, are you buying and are you selling?
Yes to both. Just actually had a cash sale go through. We got the money today. It was a $5,000 purchase that sold for just over $10,000 is what we brought back. So it was not bad.
Awesome. Yeah, I think. Well, we're buying a lot of land right now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of deals to be had. My business partner Mike and I were on the verge of a big bulk deal, purchasing. What is it, Mike? 65 properties, 65 properties.
Yep, 64
at a deep discount, which is pretty awesome. And then in my land business, also we're having, we've had a couple nice sales here in the last. We sold multiple on probably 2 on terms here in the last few days, and also a nice cash deal. So I think the bottom line is deals are being done. We're buying land like crazy. We're still selling land. We've had some cash deals in the last month, which those kind of go up and down. And but the terms deals are pretty steady. So I think for the beginners out there, which we're about to touch on, it's a great time to get started if you can. You guys agree?
I concur.
You got to concur right off the bat.
I concur right from the beginning. 5 minutes in. All right. So let's get to our topic. The 5 land investing mistakes that keep beginners stuck and confused. We were all beginners. We felt stuck and confused at one point or another. So, John, I'm going to let you take number 1. We came up with a plan before we came in. We're very organized. So we have all 5 mistakes ready to go. So John, take it away. What's mistake number one for the audience?
So mistake number one is analysis paralysis.
Ooh.
Too much learning and not enough doing, right? So it's
tell me
easy.
more, John.
Yeah, so I am naturally Mr. Analysis by paralysis by analysis. I always get it wrong, but that is my proclivity. And
Ooh,
I
Scrabble worthy. Scrabble worthy.
yeah.
But a lot less now than it used to be. But I could just overanalyze any given aspect of the business, but especially like if a property comes in, you can just look at it. You could be like, is this right? Is this wrong? What is this line that's running across the property? How do I think about this? How do I think about that? And you could overthink it to death. And like for me, I just talk to people who knew better than I did, right? And I would raise those questions and give myself no excuse to not move forward. And that was helpful. But there are various points in this business where you can feel that sense of overwhelm, right? Because you're thinking about all these what ifs, and you just need to lean on somebody for support and get through that,
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's so much information out there, and some of us are information junkies to the point where we'll learn for months and months, or even years and years. We'll just learn one thing, and then we'll go to the next topic and the next topic, or maybe we'll stay on one topic for years without taking action. Right?
Yeah, it's a good point. Like I remember, especially like when Valerie is a massive action taker, and so which I'm extremely grateful for. And so like we'll sit down in the morning and I'll be like, hey, I had this idea the other day. She's like, I just texted 5 people, it's happening tomorrow, right? Like so she just like gets things done. But we had this vision of getting into real estate investing, read Kiyosaki, listen to all the podcasts. You could hang out in that space for years,
Yep.
and I remember just running into people who they had been wanting to invest in real estate, and they had been listening to podcasts for years and years and years and had never actually taken any action. And so like taking that first step is just so helpful, just putting yourself in a position where you're actually doing something.
That's awesome. Mike, what are your recommendations for the first step? You've done the learning. Now what?
Well, yeah, you definitely got to take some action, but I think even the wrong action can trump no action, because you can correct something if it's a mistake, but if you don't have anything, what are you going to correct? And I think you guys hit upon some really great points. One of them, we're in an information age, right? There's so much information out there, not just on land investing, but on how to be fit, how to eat right, how to do this, how to do that we can just become consumers, like the doom scrolling they call it, just looking at option after option after option and feeling like that's moving us forward, but it's really moving us, I would say even backwards, right? Because it's just information overload. So you got to sort of put all that aside, find something that, was that my end? Ooh.
That was me.
I don't know what that was.
Find something that speaks to you, right? Or Joseph Campbell, I love that guy. I don't know if you ever listened to Power of Myth. It's old now. He's been gone for a while, but he would say, follow your bliss. Find something that speaks to you, sings to you, and follow. Now, it could be this. If it's land investing, then now you need to get your first step out. And what that is like where you're going to actually work this business. Like where out of all the 3,000 counties are you going to actually do this business? You have to make a decision, right? So I think that's step number one, right? And is just make a decision that first of all, you're going to actually do some land investing, but then it's like, where am I going to do it? But you can become a podcast junkie. I think that's what you were just referring to, John, right? Like people that maybe go to Tony Robbins and continue to go back to get that recharge, but maybe don't really do anything with it. They just get excited and charged up. I often joke to Mark, I said, Mark, you're more powerful than Tony Robbins, and I was kind of joking, kind of serious. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you don't just get people excited. You give them an action plan, something to actually execute upon. It's not just like, hey, all jazzed up. Now go. And like, what? Go where? Like, where do I go? Left, right, straight, back? We're talking a very specific niche. And if you follow this, you can have success. So number one, to avoid analysis paralysis, decide you're going to do land investing, and then just pick an area. Now there is some thing that goes into that, right? And so we're not digging into that today, but that's the first task you have.
Yeah. I think also you touched on something important too, Mike, which is that like something that that Scott Todd says a lot is done beats perfect, right? It's something that we talk about a lot. It's more important to do something than to do the perfect thing. And then also you learn by doing too, right? It's tempting to try to fit everything into your brain before you actually do something. And I mean, you want to understand it at a high level, but you don't need to understand every granular aspect, right? You build it as you learn as you go, and you learn by building, by doing.
Yeah. You know, I think of people in the beginning, I tell them when they start their journey into flight school or into land investing, you have to be like an investigative reporter. I joke, it's like, is it Peter Parker that has the guy with the cigar he works for, Scott? Is it Peter Parker? Or is it,
Yeah.
the Daily Planet, or is that Superman? I get them all confused here.
That's Superman. It's what is it? The Daily Bugle?
The Bugle.
One chomping on the cigar that yells at him all the time in the comic. That's the,
Jonas. What is it, John? Jonas?
Like Jay Jonason or something.
Yeah.
So you see Peter Parker goes in the office and he's like chomping on a cigar. He's like, listen, there's land deals happening out there. I need you to go find out where, how, and how to get some of those, right? That's your first thing. You have to be that type of, you have to uncover every stone. You have to dig in. Like you hear us talking about land deals. You can listen to other podcasts where we have other people doing land deals. Like, where are we doing these? Like, you'd have to be very curious, and you have to take failure as not an option and investigate and find where we're going to do this. Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. I mean, we'll just do we'll do the Boston Laggett segment in reverse here. It's our favorite segment at Land Geek. When Mike says the word completely wrong, and Scott spells it right. I'm not going to spell Peter Parker. You all know how to spell Peter Parker, but Peter Parker. That's a pretty good Boston Laggett segment.
Well, you need to be Peter Parker, and you need to figure out whether you have to be an investigative reporter. You have to dig your heels in, and say, "This is what I'm going to do. I know there's deals being done. Let me figure out where they're going to be done." That's step one.
Yeah,
love it, man. Love it. Mallory Mavis is here. Mallory, what's going on? She says, yeah, it's hard for someone who wants to have everything figured out in the beginning like me. Ha ha. It's definitely day by day. Yeah, you're exactly right. There are a lot of people out there who they feel like they need to have all the info before they take action, right? Just lean on the community. Just go in the Facebook group and just ask questions and lean on people. Go into our online community where I think you get a little bit better advice, actually.
Yeah.
And just ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions and do that investigative reporting. And while you're doing the reporting, take a little bit of imperfect action. Right?
Yeah. Can you imagine day one you go into medical school? It's like, I can't start until I know how to do a surgery. It's like you get all excited. Like, no, you need to figure out the basic human anatomy first. Maybe, I'm guessing, Scott, you've been to these school, but you need to figure some things out before you get to the point of actually cutting someone open and doing a surgery, right? You don't have to have all the answers. You need to start with the fundamentals.
Love it, man. Well, you are on fire tonight.
Is that a mic drop?
That was a mic drop.
It's the Pinot Noir. I can't lie. It's the
Pinot Noir.
In the right mindset. Little Pinot Noir and the Pinot and the piano.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for that. I think that closes out mistake number one that beginning land investors make, right? So we move on to and for those of you out there watching, all 31 of you. I mean, we're gaining some viewers here, some viewers.
Crazy. I mean, I'm pretty sure 30 of them are my mom. So the other one, we're proud
kids,
of you.
John.
Thank you.
30 are kids.
They're my kids. That's right.
Device. Give each kid a device. Now
listeners watch us.
But for those of you out there, what would be, do you have any experiences with this? Did you doom scroll podcasts for years before you took action? What would be your advice to somebody who's on the verge of doing this? But love to hear any comments that you guys have. Mike Zano, let's go on to mistake number 2 that maybe newbie land investors make that keep them stuck.
I often say breathe in the mailing, breathe out the marketing. The opposite is inconsistent, right? It's like holding your breath, right? You're holding your breath. You're not mailing. You're not marketing, and nothing is really happening. You mail a couple hundred letters or so, a couple Facebook ads. This is ironic. I saw it. I always reference here, which you guys have both heard, the parades, right? And I just went to one. There's up in a little town called Newburyport, a coastal town. They had a Yankee parade, Yankee homecoming, and in this parade, there they were, the people with the push carts with the balloons and the popcorn and the pretzels, and everything's overpriced. And they walk down, popcorn, balloons. Now if they walk 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, it's like one ad, one mailing, right? But what do? They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And eventually they wear you down. They wear you down. You buy that stale popcorn for $5. You could get a whole case of popcorn at home, but you buy it. You buy that blow up balloon that's probably worth 10 cents. You pay $10 because your kid really wants it, or the thing that makes all the noise, woo, all that stuff. But why do they do that? Because they walk the whole parade back and forth. Now, if you were to just walk a couple feet, how many things would they sell? Nothing, right? So this is the same thing here. If you're not consistent with your mailing, you're not consistent with your marketing, you're walking like 10 feet in the parade with your push cart, you're not going to sell any of your stale popcorn, none of your, none of your pretzels, none of your balloons, none of your bugles. You're not going to sell any of that. So you got to be consistent. You got to. There's a little trick here. Unlike the push cart people, we get somebody else to push the cart for us, right? And I think I'll let maybe you guys talk about that, right? We don't have to push the cart.
How do we follow this guy up tonight, John?
I don't know. I was just waiting. I was like, how are the push carts connected to mailing? And then you did it. It was beautiful. I love it.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta show up. You gotta show up over and over, right? And sometimes to the same people over and over. And you can't stop. You can't stop the cart, which is the big mistake that a lot of people make. And sorry, I got a fly over here or something, fruit fly. But they maybe they have a successful mailing campaign and they get some offers back, and then they get nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, what do? I'm not mailing anymore until I figure this out.
Right. We deal with these
so
first.
They put the brakes on the mailing when really you make the money with the mailing, right? So don't stop the mailing, even when you might be a little bit overwhelmed with, hey, what do I do next, right?
Yeah.
What about you, John? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it kind of ties to like maybe a different flavor of analysis paralysis, like where you just kind of, I don't know, like I guess maybe it's not analysis paralysis, but you can kind of freeze up in moments like that, right? You post an ad, somebody responds, and you're like, oh my goodness, like you can just kind of, I don't know, you just have to keep on pushing through, and you have to be consistent. Consistency is key, right? And once a day is better than 5 once a week, right? All in a block or something like that. If you can do something with some level of consistency, it'll churn results. But like you were saying, Scott, like, I mean, I had one point in my business, I probably talked about it before, where I remember early on, I had this stack of offers that had been returned to me. I think I went on a trip or something, and then I had this stack, and there were accepted offers, there were countered offers. And every time I looked at it, I just got this pit in my gut. And I just had to sit down, and I had to work my way from the top of the list to the bottom of the list. And then I could start churning through the other ones that were coming through as well. And it was great, right? Like I made a ton of money off of that stack, but you just have to be consistent. You have to keep on pushing through in order to see results.
Yeah.
And just do. Don't think, just do. Right? We're bringing in. I'm channeling Yoda. I'm channeling Tom Cruise here, who ripped off Yoda in Top Gun 2. Right? Like, just do. Right? And when it comes to marketing, just sit down every day. If you've got a property in inventory, you need to do something today to market the property. It doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to do something today. Right?
Yeah.
And don't stop the marketing cat either.
Well, very fortunate, on the mailing side, it's super simple. LG Pass has a drip function. So if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, LG Pass is software that was created by Land Geek specifically for this business. And you can upload just a ton of information for mailers and drip out 20 a day or whatever number it wants. So you hit a button and then that's it. Consistency created with one push of a button. Very simple.
Look at this amazing advice from Kenneth Green. What's up, Ken? Daniel-san and Mr. Miyagi, walk right is good, walk left is good, walk in the middle and you get squished like grape or don't mail.
I love Kenneth Green. What's up, brother? My karate brother.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. So thank you guys for chiming in with all of your comments on point number 2. We'll go back to get to some of you have questions. We'll go back to those. Daniel Bryan had a comment about point number 1, the time between getting your first mailers out and when they come back is enough to learn how to do the next step and so on and so forth. You're exactly right. There's some ebbs and flows in the business where maybe there's a little bit less activity today. So if there's a little bit less activity today, what are you going to do to become a better land investor?
Yeah.
Well, there's a ton of learning we can do, right? There's a ton of networking you can do while you're waiting for things to hit. So that's awesome. Don Thrasher said, Mike, you are in fuego, but I need to say, Don, a little birdie told me that you had your first sale. So I think I'd flip it around and say you are in fuego, my friend.
Let's hear the details.
So Don, if you want to throw the details in the chat, that's always fun for people in the community to see. If you want to tell us what you bought it for, what you sold it for, perfect. If not, no worries. But yeah, congrats to you. And I think he just started flight school not long ago. So yeah, a couple weeks ago maybe. So that's pretty awesome. So awesome. Don, congrats.
Great job, Don.
All right, we'll get to some of the other questions. Like I said, we'll come back after we get to the after we get through the 5 common mistakes people make. So all right, so I take number 3 here since you guys we're doing a little round robin here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so mistake number 3. In the beginning, we're all excited. We're craving that first deal, right? And we get a response, and we're like, "This is it. I'm going to buy it," and we chase it. And because maybe we're a little bit inexperienced, sometimes early on we chase things when we shouldn't, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get that first mailer, that first accepted offer that comes in, obviously you're going to get that dopamine hit. It's going to be really exciting. But sit down with the offer, take a deep breath, do a little bit of careful analysis of the deal, and don't be afraid to say no on the first deal, right? You need to be picky on the first deal. We say it all the time. We want to avoid the dreaded disease or the dreaded condition that many of us have when we first start, and that is gotta have landitis.
Well, that would have been great. You complete me. I thought you'd just give me that layup.
Oh, I should have. I should have. So yeah, and actually, I have a real world example from this today. I had a coaching call today with a flight school client, and he got on the call. He was all excited about the deal. He's like, "I'm going to buy this thing," and I'm like, "Hold on," because he actually shared the screen with me, talked to me about the deal, and I'm like, "Hold on, now is everybody on? Is everybody that's able to sign right now on the current deed?" He's like, "No. Oh, actually, no. The parents are the parents are on the deed and they're deceased." I'm like, "Oh, well, you can't buy this, right?" And that's just a technical detail. But sometimes we get so excited that we're going to move forward and take action when we got to make sure that we get all our ducks in a row, T's crossed, I's dotted before we do a deal.
Yeah.
Don, any thoughts on this subject?
Yeah. I mean, I probably told this story as well, but like when Valerie and we got our first response to a mailer, and it was a counter, and we were like so excited, right? Like, we were just like, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy!" And we booked a coaching call. We were like, "We need to talk to you right now. It's an emergency. Drop everything. We need to talk," right? And we got a coaching call booked and sat down with them, and they looked at it and they were like, "I don't think I would do this." So it was, and there were more deals to come, so I think that there's this, we talk about the scarcity mindset. You could have a scarcity mindset just in the sense of like feeling like, I mean, it's fear of missing out too, right? Like, it's just like, this is, you get an opportunity, it's your first one, and you think that there's not any more coming, right? And so you have to be careful about that. But then I think on the flip side, coming back to the paralysis by analysis kind of a thing too, recognize the type of person you are. You're going to put yourself in one ditch or another. Are you in the like, let's do it bucket, like ditch, or are you in the like, I'm never going to do anything ditch, right? And take a salt, because you also don't want to analyze the deal to death. And if you feel like you're in that category, get some help. Or if you're in either ditch, get some help. Talk to somebody, show them the property, and ask them what they think, and if it looks like a good deal.
Love it. All right, let's hear it, Zen Master. You're on a roll tonight.
Yeah, I think, yes, you got to follow the numbers. And let me tell you, you don't want to, it's going to sound strange, you don't want to date the deal. Okay? You don't want to date the deal. I mean, you want to date the deal. I'm sorry. Take it back. You don't want to do is you meet a girl on the first date and say, will you marry me? That's not good. You don't know if you get along. You don't know if it's a good fit. Same with the deal. You don't look at the deal right away and say, I want to buy it. You have to date the deal. You have to look through and see, what are the components of this? Is it a good pricing? Is there good use? Is there good access? All these different things have to come through. Am I talking? You just brought up something really key at the beginning, Scott. Somebody was looking to buy a property and they couldn't, the person they were talking to couldn't convey title to them, right? So these are the things you need to do. So you definitely don't want to just jump right in and make a decision. The numbers have to make sense. The gotta have landitis is real. The real problem arises when you go back to mistake number 2 and you don't mail enough. Now you only have a few options, right? And you just might pick one because you feel like you have to deal, right? And that deal is a good deal.
And I think people overpay sometimes when that's the case too. When you get an accepted offer in, you got to check and recheck your numbers. This is all a numbers game. You could have been wrong the first time. Go back and you might have
neutral mindset, right? Yeah, you got to be cold and analytical about this.
Yep, got to be analytical when you get the deal coming across your desk. You got to be analytical when you buy property wholesale from another land investor, because some land investors like Mike Zane will give you a great deal, but every once in a while you find somebody out there who's like, boy, that looks overpriced.
Right? Boy, it looks like retail.
Yeah, boy, that looks like retail. And hopefully we have a solution coming for that in the land geek community here soon. But you got to do your due diligence on the wholesale deals too. Even when you're buying from another land investor, make sure you're getting it at a good price, that there's enough meat left on the bone for you to make a nice profit on it.
100%.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. I think we covered that. Number 3. Let's see. We got Daniel Bryan had 2 of those deals this week. All you could do is call the county for them and help provide advice for getting the deed fixed. And that's exactly right. Sometimes we point people in the right direction, right? Maybe it's a probate issue, which sometimes isn't a lot of work, but I'm not necessarily going to help them do that just because it's not a good return on my time.
Yeah.
Billy Swinton, we'll talk about that in a minute. That's a pricing thing. Okay, here's Don Thrasher's and Fuego results. You ready?
Okay.
He's in week 5 of his 16-week flight school experience. He bought 4 properties wholesale. When he had the Dirt Rich starter kit, marketed on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Bought 1 property for $1,000. Buyer initially said no. Asked her a bunch of questions. Sold on terms for $2,500.
That's great.
There you go. Buyer initially. So this is cool. The buyer initially said no, but he stayed on the phone with her. He stayed in communication with her. He asked her some questions. He got to know her.
Yeah.
I doubt Don was pushy with his sales technique, which none of us really are. We're just having conversations with people. And then he ended up selling the property. So those conversations mean a lot. So Don, throw in the chat, was it a phone conversation? I would assume it was, or maybe Zoom. But I think it's hard to change the mind when it's text or email. But that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool first sales story.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Don. Awesome. So we're coming up on number 4, the 4th biggest mistake, John Burnett.
All right.
New land investors make that keep them stuck. Where are we at? What was that?
Not knowing their numbers or avoiding the math. So, and that applies to a number of different things, right? So, are you pricing your offers? Do you understand the return and your margins on your properties? But also things like marketing, right? If you're marketing on a platform and you're spending $1,000 a month and it gives you one sale a month, then you're paying $1,000 a sale, right? Like, and so that squeezes your margins, right? So it's important to know how much you're paying. It's also important, I think, so from the dollars and cents, right? Like that's a really important thing for you to be aware of, but also thinking about the output of your team, right? So you can go set it and forget it, right? And I've done this. I'm sure we've all done this at one point or another, where you hire a virtual assistant and you let things go and you come back a few weeks or a month later and you're like, what happened to this part of my business, right? Like, why is it in decline? And you look at it and you're like, oh, that's why, right? And I had one instance where I hired somebody to do a bunch of Craigslist ads for me. And we had all of our leads funneling into an Airtable base, and we were following up with all of them and all this stuff. And we were doing some good sales and stuff. And only like at some point later did I actually delineate how many leads we were getting from each individual source. What I found out was that I was paying I think I was paying $500 a lead from this guy. Like I paid him $1,000 over like the course of, I don't know, 2-3 months or something like that. And the lead flow just wasn't there for his ads. And so it's just a clear, like, okay, this was a clear mistake that I made. I need to be keeping my finger on the pulse here. So I think knowing your numbers across every area of your business, not overthinking it, but making sure that, if you don't keep tabs on things will naturally start declining and start bloating. And so you have to make sure that you're aware of where things are at.
That's awesome advice for a beginner, for sure. Mike Zano, you're a numbers guy.
No,
your favorite mathematician?
My math.
Tell the joke.
3 kinds of mathematicians: those who can add and those who can't.
There we go.
But I'd have to concur with John. I mean, he nailed it from every angle there. I'd have to concur.
Maybe you need to confer before you concur.
I mean, concur with you about the concur for me. So,
but it's true, especially on the VA side of things. If you don't understand, that's the dangerous part about outsourcing, is before you truly understand the deliverable. And if you were to outsource it and not know what it really costs, or you've never done it yourself, you could overpay. If you don't just have a clear idea of what you want them to do and you let them sort of take the lead, well, VAs just want to work, right? And they're amazing, many of them, right? But they just want to work. So if you leave them to their own accords, their own devices, they're going to work and they're going to work and they're going to work and they're going to bill. And it doesn't mean they're necessarily doing what you want them to do. So you really got to be tight with that. You got to understand the deliverable. You got to understand the numbers in that sense. So I think that was I would just highlight what John mentioned there, because I think that's very real, especially in the beginning, John, right? That could happen to somebody. Oh, is he frozen?
For sure.
Is he fake frozen or real frozen?
Who, John? John looks real frozen. At first, I thought he was fake frozen too.
I think he leaned into what I'm saying and was giving me some sort of question. Look at this condescending look that he's frozen on.
He's entranced.
I can't even.
Oh my gosh!
You gotta block him out. He's looking at me like, "What, Mike? There he is."
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
Glitch in the Starlink.
We just hopped off for a minute. So
you leaned right in. I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
Oh man, yeah. I think I would say one thing about numbers too, and that is you both alluded to this, but when you're first starting out, just really know what you're spending, right? Just keep a spreadsheet or something, and go through your expenses month to month and look at what you're spending. And I'm a believer that a few months into this, after you've learned how to do it, you should hopefully be able to cover your expenses with cash, right? So figure out a way to do that, and the best way to do that is by wholesaling to another land investor, because that's kind of a quick deal. But keep your operating expenses low, and a few months in, try to cover your expenses. Okay. And that'll make you put you on the path for faster growth, I think, financially.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So let's see, other comments coming in here. I think Don was laughing at John's frozen face there, which was all good. That's a question we're going to take here in a little bit. All right, awesome. That's another question we'll take here in a minute. So, Mike Zano,
Yes, sir.
how you doing over there, buddy? You doing all right?
I'm doing good. I got plenty of wine.
It's good. It's getting late over there on the East Coast.
Yeah, it is. What time is it right now? Oh, it's 9:39.
9:39. All right, we have one more common mistake that newbie land investors make that we want to talk about, and
Sure.
I think you're up, Mike. I think it's your turn.
All right. Mistake number 5: doing everything themselves for too long. Delay hiring a VA. Delay in automating with tools like LG Pass, GeekPay, etc. Leads, they fall through the cracks. Sellers and buyers go cold. Burnout kicks in. Delegate before you're drowning is what we're saying here. You don't need to do it all. And Scott, you must have come up with this pro tip. If you do a $10 task all day long, you probably have a $10 an hour business. That sounds like a Scott Bossman quote.
Yeah, that was definitely me.
Yeah. But the message is real here. You have to take advantage. If you want to scale, you have to take advantage of tools, right? And the thing is, there's tools. LG Pass alone. Remember before that, we were let's just go before that. You have tools like Zamplo. Before that, we were getting this cryptic data from the county, and we were trying to Frankenstein a list. Remember those words? Frankensteining a list. Scott Todd would spend hours at boot camp teaching people how to do this. Now we do that a snap of a finger with some software, right? So you embrace that. We used to have to hand mail. Now LG Pass mails for us. We used to have to mail merge deeds and documents, and that was a pain. But now the software alone will scale you. But when you see how we bring in the virtual assistants with user access to that software and create the workflows, now you're starting to truly work on the business and not in it. So that's a big part of avoiding mistake number 5, right? Is get the correct software built for the business that you're running, right? The software was built for the LG Pass is not something that we just took and, sort of form fitted it. It's actually built for this business, right? True and true. So it does exactly what we need it to do. So start with some things like that, basic tools.
I love it, Mike. As you're talking about that, there's this app on my Mac that I used back in 2015. It's called Pages Data Merge. It was my mailing merge app that I used on my Mac. I still haven't downloaded. I don't know why.
You probably were you an iMacros guy? Why do I think that was you?
No, that was John.
Yeah,
John.
macros guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little stick, and I'd set it up and I'd run it, and I'd go to bed and wake up. It's like Christmas morning. I'm like, where's my list? Where's my list? And then, man, it was crazy. I think I was using Microsoft Word and doing mail merge, printing out. I just remember the printers just running, and you might have a
buy new toner every week.
Yeah. You guys remember those? Did you guys ever get those burner phones?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had all these phones and all this
Craigslist and whatnot.
Yeah. Talk about a tech stack. It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
I think it's interesting too. Something that you talked about, Mike, with just the idea.
There it is again. The lean.
Rose again. The Starlink, man. This is not reliable tonight.
Is that what he's using?
Yeah. I mean, he's back.
This is
he froze up, John. Are you on Starlink?
No, I'm not on Starlink. This is just Idaho data, so it's great. We can only have one person on the internet in the town at a time. So
right.
Important.
Well, everybody was hanging on the edge of the seat, particularly me, because you were referencing something I said, and now we need to know what it was.
So I was talking about burnout, right? Using tools or not using enough tools and not using people. For me, there was a point where I kind of jumped in with both feet, and I had more time than the average person. And so my thought was it's free. Like my time is free. I'm just going to do this stuff. And when you're doing these highly repetitive tasks over and over and over and over again, you really start burning out, right? And that was a pretty pivotal point for me, is just getting feedback from other investors. You know, we did a mastermind, and everybody just reamed me on this, and they were like, you got to delegate, you got to delegate, you got to delegate. And I delegated, and it was a turning point in my business. Like, I think both in doing a lot of deals, but also just for me, like being able to manage that effectively without burnout. So I think it is an important thing to take things off of your plate, even if you've got all the time in the world. You know, you want to be focusing on the most pivotal tasks.
Ken, you're right. Maybe not as much anymore, but land geeks have always gotten buried in apps that have apps. Mike Zano's an app guy. Like he'll go from one app to app to app to app to CRM to CRM to CRM. I love him. Planner to planner to planner.
Backpack to backpack to backpack.
Backpack to backpack.
Notebook to notebook. Email
It's all good, man.
service to email management service to email management service. Goes on and on.
Quit doom scrolling the apps, Mike. Enough. Keep it simple, man. Oh, did you freeze now for me, Mike? Did Mike freeze now?
Is it? Oh, no.
Okay.
I like it. Just
Good one. That was a good one.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
That would be a great, like at some point, Mike, you and I should just randomly freeze, and we should just see what Scott does.
We'll have to call that something. That'd be good. That'd be good. Awesome. Well, any comments from the peanut gallery tonight on any of the 5 mistakes we talked about? Otherwise, we'll go back and let's.
Gallery, they're probably never going to show up again now.
I mean, what's wrong with the peanut gallery? Is that a derogative? Is that a derogatory
What's
term?
the origin of that? What is the origin of the peanut gallery? That's probably a good topic for the Nite Cap.
It's probably some Shakespearean thing, like back when they were doing plays in the dome. John's on it. I can tell. I can tell when he's got his research face on. He's looking it up.
Oh,
So peanut gallery. Let's see here. What do we got?
I found out what it is.
What is it, John?
So it referred to the cheapest and rowdiest seats, typically located in the upper balcony of a theater.
Well, they would have peanuts, right?
Yeah. So they were quick. They were vocal, critical, and quick to heckle performers they didn't like.
Well, you're not saying our audience heckles us, Scott. They can't be the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Don't heckle on us.
All right. Sorry. I didn't mean it in a derogatory way. Our wonderful fans. How's that?
Okay.
All right. Daniel Bryan has a question for John. Sometimes it's 27 kids, then it's 22, then it's 23. Do you just zone some every week?
We just trade him. It's great.
I love it. Okay, let's get into some technical questions, guys. We got a few minutes left.
Yeah.
Let's help out the community. You ready? Daniel Bryan, this darn bug over here, I'm telling you. How long would you estimate does it take on average for a dirt square, my favorite term, a dirt square to sell once you've listed it? I'm on the selling side of my first 9 properties now. Who wants to take that, fellas?
Well, it's really it depends, right? Because if you're new, it's going to take a little longer. Sell a property a week on a good buyer's list, right? So the turnover will be very quick. And a buyer's list, for all those of you who don't know, is very simple. When people are responding to ads, they're interested in our property. They may not want to buy that property from us, but we always tell them we acquire new properties every week. We collect their email on some sort of platform like MailChimp. And then every week we send out a blast and say, hey, you're on our buyer's list. You get a special deal, maybe no down payment, half off the doc fee, whatever. So once you build a substantial amount of people on that list, you're going to start moving property quick. But in the beginning, it might take you a few weeks, might take you a month. Who knows? You could get a good lead right out of the gate. But either way, just stay consistent with it. But it's going to get shorter over time. But it could be quick, or it could take a few weeks. But the good news is they all sell. We repeatedly say that.
Mhm.
No matter what property it is, they all sell.
Yeah. I think there's also a little bit of seasonality to take into play or take into account too. So, if you've got a property up on the top of a mountain that's not winter accessible, that'll be a tougher one to sell in January, right? And a lot easier in August, right? And so I think there's an element of that to take into account as well. Same thing with like if you've got something in a really hot area of Arizona, it'll sell better in January and a little bit tougher in August, right? And so I think just bear that in mind as you're going. But yeah, you just got to plug away and be consistent.
I love it. And these properties catch eye. They're going to catch somebody's eye, right?
Right.
It's the cover picture that catches their eye, or it's the ad copy, or it's the price, right? Like how much money do we waste on coffee every month? Mike, I won't ask you. I know.
Well, I've been recently doing the decaf latte.
Yeah, how much is that?
$7
per lot,
including the tip. $7.
$7 for coffee.
Oh.
Now
it's not even coffee; it's decaf. But yes,
let's just say Mike bought one of those a day for a month. That's $210.
I could own
$200 a month.
I could own
What?
2 properties.
You could own 2 properties for $200 a month if you just drop the coffee. If you just go to McDonald's one time, a couple times less a month, right? Eat some bologna, buy some land.
Eat some
right?
bologna, buy some land.
I was just talking about bologna.
Please have a t-shirt.
We were just talking about bologna. You remember? I don't know about you guys. When I was a kid, we go on field trips. We brown bagged it. It was always white bread and bologna.
With butter. With butter.
Yeah, with some butter or some mustard, whatever it might be. And
Well,
we no refrigeration. We'd be on trips going, all day long. There's no refrigeration. That brown bag just kept it the right temperature.
Kept the mayonnaise perfectly fine.
Yes.
Mayonnaise is inherently a coolant. It's a bologna coolant. That's what mayonnaise is.
And this is why Mike got botulism.
You're fine. There's mayonnaise on it.
It'll
keep the bologna cool.
Oh my gosh.
We
digress.
What did you say about bologna that brought that up?
I just said,
eat bologna, buy land.
Eat bologna, buy land.
Yes. Can we get shirts made for the Dirt Rich Summit? Can we have
not?
those? Eat bologna, buy land. That would be a great T-shirt.
I love it. All right, a couple other questions here coming in. Let's see, questions or comments. I love Stacy's comment here about mailing. Farmers plant seeds and have to wait until they get to harvest. Letters are seeds. I love that. We are planting seeds with our mailers for sure.
That's a great
every time we go to the mailbox, we're like crop dusting, kind of. Anyway, why did you just hang your head in shame? Let's see, what else we got here. Okay, from Billy Swinton. Priced a few pieces of mailing wrong. He's at about 55%, so 55 cents on the dollar, maybe. So the neighbors aren't interested in buying. Is 55 cents on the dollar low?
Buy it for $27.50 and sell it for $6,000. That's a great deal all day long. Just make sure you're right with your values. If that's a cash flip, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, well, and I think that at $27.50 buy and to sell at $6,000, that's less than 50%. What is that? Let me math.
Yeah, it's like 45 cents on the dollar.
Yeah,
44.6.
45.83.
I don't think the so-called peanut gallery likes when we correct their math.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy. I apologize for John calling you out on your math.
Oh man, alive. Here's a question from Rick. Can an investor sell at a price too low because they can't wait for their first sale? So he's off. So the investor's offloading it, right?
No, I mean you can wholesale it for a couple $100 and be happy. It's how much time you put into it.
I would say wholesale it though to a land investor. Don't sell to somebody in the market at a deep discount. right?
You know what this reminds me of? My old sign, which I wish I had in the office still. It said wholesale, retail, Holiday Inn.
Yeah, where did that sign go?
I know. I redid the office, took it down. But wholesale, retail, Holiday Inn.
That and deal flow solves everything. I love that sign. You gotta get those back up, dude.
How about the horse with the fly? Come on, you didn't like that one?
Oh yeah, we loved that one. So did Scott Todd.
I had this horse, and my sister-in-law made it for me. On the end, on the little fly on its tail, because the saying is, even a fly can travel 1,000 miles on a horse's tail. You don't have to be great. You have to follow greatness, and you can have some of that greatness as well. So I told that to Scott Todd, and he was like, "You call me a jackass?" I'm like, "No." I said, "You're a stallion. You're a stallion."
Stallion.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it. He didn't like it. I had to give him a compliment.
Oh man. That's a great quote, Mike Sano. Great quote.
Yeah.
This is from Jeff. Trying to get going again after being evacuated. Oh, Jeff, yeah, I heard about that, man, and I hope everything's okay. Trying to get going again after being evacuated for a major wildfire in the backyard. I should buy a property by now, but it feels overwhelming. We were evacuated for over a week. I mean, yeah, Jeff, take care of yourself, right? The land will always be there, and don't feel too discouraged that you're a week behind.
Yeah, that is not procrastination. That is not overanalysis. That's like safety. And you know what? When you have when time allows, get back on that treadmill, and it'll happen.
Yep,
for sure.
And it's going to be like when you pull away from the business for a little bit, especially when you're waiting to like buy a property, it can be hard to jump back in. Like it's that same thing. You get that little pit in your gut, right? And so the key is like when it's time to jump back in, you're going to have to push yourself and jump back into the swing of things, but you'll do it. And yeah, don't feel bad. So
you got this. You got this, Jeff. Hang in there, and just keep showing up from now on. Now. All right, this is a big topic. Probably the topic for another podcast. But like, what's the most pivotal VA to bring in first? Let's just give a quick answer, John.
So I gave last time I gave this answer I gave an answer to Mark Podolsky, and he told me
he slapped you on the wrist, didn't he?
Slapped me on the wrist, and it still hurts. I still have the mark.
But think of the first ever VA. The first ever VA, John. You're not a year into this. So 3, 2, 1, first ever VA.
So my first VA was for it was a different era, right? So for me, it was data cleanup, right? Was where I was hiring a VA. But I think it's wherever you're feeling the most pain, right? Is where you want to hire a VA, but also, and then you're also looking for something that's really repeatable, that's just taking up your time. So I feel like this was
all that, Mike. Nowadays, if you were to start nowadays, Mike, what would be your first VA?
Well, I would probably hire a VA service for due diligence. I don't know if I would even train my own VA, because there's so many services out there you can choose from a la carte to do your due diligence. For me, at the beginning, I would pick my area. I would pull my list from the data. I think the first thing that I would probably outsource would be intake manager. I'll take the risk of the slap on the wrist. I will go with intake manager, because intake managers for $500. What is the first pivotal VA you outsource? Intake manager.
That was Mark. That was Mark's.
That was Mark's?
Wasn't it, John?
No, that was mine. I said intake.
That was yours.
And then Mark.
So what did he slap you on the wrist for?
Well, because he said the thing that you delegate is the thing that you don't enjoy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, but intake manager for me was the
sounds like a really safe answer, Mark. Come on. That's like almost a non-answer. He's not here, so we can call him out.
We can call him out.
I think intake manager, because the gas pedal in your business is mailings. How many mailings you do is going to be directly correlated to how many conversations you're able to have. If you can increase your ability to have conversations, you can increase your mail list. So I will say, final answer, intake manager.
See, I disagree. I think that mailing nowadays is easier than marketing. So nowadays, if I was going to get started nowadays, I would probably hire a VA for a couple hours to write me like 20 ads for a particular property. That way I wouldn't have to come up with the ad copy. and I could just mark it. Mike?
It's not a bad answer.
Not a bad answer.
It's not a bad answer. I wouldn't say it's my first answer, but not a bad answer.
Yeah. No concur, Scott.
Oh, okay, fine. Whatever. All right. We're coming up on the hour, but I do have one of these. A Facebook quote or question of the week. You can't see it very well. I got to figure out a way to
perfectly, actually.
I got to figure out a way to, I got to share my, this is too
too
low tech.
I could read that.
This is too low tech. I gotta digitize these, and I should be able to share my screen and throw some stuff up. So that's what I'm going to work on next week. Digitization. But anyway, this is a comment in the Facebook group this week, and I thought we should address it here because a lot of people come here, they've never heard of land investing, and then one of the first resources we point them to is Mark's book, Dirt Rich, right?
Yeah.
Which is a really amazing kind of overview of the business.
Yep.
So there was a comment this week about Dirt Rich in the Facebook group, and basically said, where are the PDFs mentioned in the book? I mentioned the websites I tried to find or use from the book are either LandGeek owned or no longer working. And then a comment about, creating a lot of buzz for those for these things with 2018 books. So here's what I'd say. Just keep in mind, everybody, Mark doesn't care that this is the case. Like, he probably wrote that book, Mike and John, in 2016, and he published it in 2018. And times they are changing, and they change fast in this business, right? So
Yeah.
if you guys read Dirt Rich 1, just know that all of the tools and things mentioned in there may not be in the book, or may not be available anymore, just because times change, tools change, technology changes. What I love about Dirt Rich, though, is you still get the overall basis of what we do and why we do it, and Mark's story, right? And then you just fill in the gaps with joining our group and asking questions like on this podcast, or asking questions in the Facebook group and that type of thing. And if you're missing a particular thing that you want or you think that would be really helpful to you, email support@thelandgeek.com and they can help you. I think go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, I think many people think they're going to read that book and be totally equipped to do land investing, which, if you're very astute, possibly. But I think most importantly, what he's conveying to you is a mindset of, he entered into something that he wasn't sure was going to work, and all the fears, the uncertainties and doubts that he had, and how he powered through that. So start looking at Dirt Rich as a mindset book, and it makes total sense.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, I love that. It's a mindset book.
It's a mindset book.
Mindset book.
And Dirt Rich 2 gets into a little bit more of the technical stuff, right?
Nitty gritty. But if you want the most current things, come every Tuesday night and talk to us.
Talk to us.
We'll give you the most current advice.
The most current.
Today's advice.
Because we are the hostess. We are the hosts with the mostest.
We are. Yes. Eat bologna, buy land.
What'd you think of that, Mike?
Oh my God.
Eat bologna, buy land.
I was trying to see if I can get some emojis. Remember I had the emojis going? I don't know what happened. There's nothing.
I just want to make like an AI video ad of just a guy eating a bologna sandwich in silence on a piece of land, and then like as he's eating the sandwich, like a slogan pops up and it just says "Eat bologna, buy land."
Oh my God, that's gonna work.
Oh man, it'd be a catchy title for an ad, wouldn't it?
It is.
Yeah. If they click on it, be like, "What the heck?" All right.
Look at that last sip right at 10 o'clock.
I'll pour myself another little Nite Cap here as we sign off. But everybody, thanks for coming.
Or a nightcap. I thought you said
light. We'll have a Nightcap after the Nightcap, and let's tell them what we're talking about next week. One second.
What are we talking about next week?
Oh, let's see. Oh, I forgot to hit that button. I'm in charge of too many things over here. Nightcap. Next week, August 12th. Well, the year's flying, fellas. August 12th, 2025. The topic next week is the land. Oh, we're getting techie next week. Ooh. The land income calculator. How to make money every time you buy land. Wow. Mike, you're in charge of that one, buddy.
Bring your
calculator. I didn't know we're doing math on Nite Cap.
I'm bringing my T100. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Bringing the 10BII. Is that what we're doing?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I guess I got to figure out how to share my screen. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers to you. Cheers to all. Let freedom ring. Mark, we miss you. Come back soon. And don't forget, Dirt Rich Summit, first weekend in November. It's coming up. It's like 3 months away.
Let's do it. We'll be there.
You can meet us in person. We'll sign your baloney shirts. It's going to be great.
I'll bring the bologna. And I'll keep it in my suitcase.
I'll
just be in the corner.
Sign pizzas of bologna.
I'll be in the corner making sandwiches.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.